Italian Football Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Questions from the Italian Football Podcast Patrons, where you, our patrons, decide what the show is about by simply sending in your questions via DM on Patreon. I'm joined, as always, by Carlo Garganese. So let's start with the first question, which has been sent in from CJ Barile. He says, rank the last 10 AC Milan goalkeepers from worst to best.
Okay. So you're gonna go through the list again, like
Yeah.
like we did for Milan and Juventus, like we did for who do we do? Inter and Juventus. We've done
Juve,
already.
I suppose that's the idea here that he sent. The last, basically the last 10 goalkeepers, and because it was 9 with Juve, because they've kind of had just 9, or Inter was 9 as well, I think, because they've had longevity. But yeah, so with Milan, this has been the
going
last
back
10.
to Saki. So we're going back to Arrigo Sacchi here.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. You read them out, and I'll pick them.
Cool. Okay. From worst to best, AC Milan's last 10 goalkeepers. Giovanni Galli.
Giovanni Galli. Well, he was there when they won 2 Champions Leagues under Sacchi, 2 European Cups under Sacchi. He wasn't the best goalkeeper. He was Italy number 1 as well in 1986 World Cup. He wasn't the best goalkeeper that Italy or Milan had, but he was there. So I'd probably put him in the middle. So let's go 6.
Sebastiano Rossi.
Rossi was really underrated. This guy was a penalty monster. He used to save so many penalties. I really liked him. He was massive. Never played for Italy. Maybe the best goalkeeper Italy have ever had that didn't play for the Italy national team. So I'm going to go 2.
Francesco Antonioli.
Antonioli, I remember him coming through at Milan as a youngster, and he was tipped for big things, and then it never happened for him at Milan. He was a big disappointment, injuries as well. So I would have to put him, let's say, 9.
One of my favorite characters of all time in football, Jens Lehmann.
Yeah, Jens Lehmann, bit of an asshole. Let's be honest.
What you mean? You're telling me that the guy who used to fly a helicopter to his backyard and then told the neighbors to piss off when they complained about the noise is an asshole? Whatever do you mean? Whatever do you mean?
I mean, look, he was great for Arsenal. For Arsenal, he was brilliant. For Milan, a total unmitigated disaster. There was one game in particular where it will go down as one of the worst goalkeeping performances of all time. I can't remember who it was against, but I remember it was a total shambles. And he joined Milan after impressing for Schalke, and they won the UEFA Cup against Inter in the final. And then he went to Milan, and he was horrendous. He has to be 10th. The worst.
Jens Lehmann is the last of the old school German football asshole. Like the old school German football player asshole. Like there's a saying in German that they used to say that if you put all German football players in a burlap sack and you hit it with a baseball bat, you're going to hit someone who deserves it. Jens Lehmann is that. Like he embodies that. There aren't that many of them around now. That football's changed and Germany's changed. But the old school German football asshole, that to me, he just embodies it.
I've interviewed Lehmann once, and I always remember. It was when Stevan Jovetic was at Fiorentina, and he was just about to join Manchester City. But Jovetic was a phenomenon. People forget he had a lot of the injury problems, but he was absolute wonder kid. He was unbelievable. I remember him destroying Liverpool, and he'd been around for a while now, and he was an incredible talent. And I remember asking Lehmann before he would join Man City. I remember asking him, what do you think of Stevan Jovetic? Do you think he's exciting player, isn't he, for Manchester City? They spent a lot of money on him. You know what he said? He goes, never heard of him. I'll never forget that. But the way he said it, never heard of him.
He's just, I'm telling you, the old school German football asshole. Like it's just him. What's his name? Schumacher. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those,
Aaron
yeah,
Schumacher, yeah.
Khan. Lothar was a fantastic player, but he's a bit of a dickhead too. Like, do you know what I mean? Like this kind of old
He's
school
been married.
German.
How many times have he been married? Mateus. Like,
you know
they're
what I
all
mean?
he's like the Leonardo DiCaprio of football, isn't they? They're all he's like in his 60s now, but his girlfriends are always in their 20s. Like,
Yeah. No, he's unbelievable. Cristiano Abbiati.
Abbiati, like, you got to split his career into two. Like, he was fantastic youngster in Milan. You remember that he was one of the reasons they won the Scudetto in 1999. Cristiano Abbiati, and then he went away, and then he came back, and then they won the Scudetto again with him. Under Allegri, and he was always really, really good for Milan until he probably became a little bit too old, and then he was past his best. So I think for what he did for Milan overall and his longevity and how much he played, I would have him quite near the beginning. So I would say, let's say 4.
Nelson Dida.
Nelson Dida. I think we have to go number 1 for Dida. I mean, people forget just how good this guy was when Milan won their first Champions League. And you had Buffon on one side and him on the other side. And then for a few years, and then he was really important, and then winning the Champions League in 2007 as well. And he was just a really imposing goalkeeper, big, commanding, amazing at saving penalties, even if he was 4 or 5 yards off his line when he saved all those penalties against Juventus in 2003. But he was an outstanding penalty saver as well. He was great. So I think it's good. This is a debatable one. I understand that. I think I don't think I think if you ask 10 people who's the best of these 10 goalkeepers, probably everyone will come up with someone different. Well, not someone different, but there's a few that people will mix between. So I'll go number 1.
Yeah, I remember Dida was unbelievable. There's no doubt about that. And he was integral in those Champions League wins. Zeljko Kalac, who we've interviewed actually on the pod for people.
It's a good laugh.
Yeah,
Kalac came in, I think, after Dida got an injury or his Dida started to fall away, and Kalac came in kind of as a stopgap for one season and did decently for a while. The guy was absolutely huge, like 6'9" or 6'10", like one of the biggest goalkeepers I've ever seen. I would probably have him 7. His handling wasn't the best, but he was a massive guy. I would say 7.
Diego Lopez.
Diego Lopez was great before he joined Milan, but then I always thought he was a bit of a disappointment at Milan. He was there though during the banter, the peak of their banter era, just before Donnarumma. So I would say before Antonioli and Lehmann, I would say 8.
Gigio Donnarumma.
Okay, I mean Donnarumma incredible, but also there during kind of like the banter era. During a lot of the banter era, and obviously left under a cloud as well, the way that he left. It's a difficult one because
Hackeraggio sul mio account, chiudo social.
It's difficult because on talent, I mean, I consider Donnarumma the best goalkeeper in the world right now. Certainly last season, and then but can I put Donnarumma ahead of Dida, Sebastiano Rossi,
no,
Abbiati, for what they did, for what they won, for their influence in those victories, these goalkeepers? I can't put them above them. If you're asking me who's the better goalkeeper in their career out of all these goalkeepers, then Donnarumma's better than probably all of them. Maybe Dida's the one, Dida's the closest one, but I would say Donnarumma's ahead of all of them. But what they did for Milan, and he's penalised also by the fact that he played in a losing Milan. So I think 5. 5th position.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is not about his ability. It's about what he did at Milan. And I think that Donnarumma did not accomplish more at Milan than Rossi, Dida, Abbiati even. So, yeah, I think that's fair. And then finally, Mike Maignan.
Yeah, and the same goes for Mike Maignan. I think Mike Maignan has achieved more at Milan than Donnarumma. I think Maignan started his Milan career absolutely insane. Obviously won the Scudetto. Then I think he was injuries and a little bit kind of didn't maintain that. And now again, this season he's back to his best. So I think I would have Maignan third or fourth. I would have him below Dida and Rossi. And Abbiati, maybe just above Abbiati, because I think he's a better goalkeeper than Abbiati. So let's say 3 for Maignan.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's kind of what I would have as well, I suppose. But it's difficult because you're comparing different eras and so on. But yeah, no, I'd probably sign off on most of those. Maybe have, I don't know, maybe have
Who would you have as your
Antonio.
number one? Who would you have as your number one? Because I think that's the tough one. I think like you could argue, I honestly think you could argue out of five of them for the number one. I think some people would say Dida, some Abbiati, some would say Maignan, some would say Rossi.
No, for me,
I would think some would say Donnarumma as well.
No, for me, it's if again what they did at Milan, what they achieved at Milan, how important they were for Milan winning. I think I'd have to go with Dida because I think Rossi played as a goalkeeper behind the greatest back four that has ever existed. Tassotti, Costa Curta, Baresi, Maldini. Like,
yeah,
you could literally put a chair in goal and they wouldn't concede. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't even need to have a human being, a sentient being there. Just a chair would save, would do well behind that defense. And I think he's penalized by that. Which is, but still, like, Dida had a fantastic defense, but it wasn't at the same level of that defense. That back four is insane. You know, Arsenal fans always go on about that back four, but sorry, there are levels to this.
Yeah. Well, Winterburn or Maldini. I mean,
you know, like, was it Lee Dixon, Tony Adams, Winterburn, and what's his name?
Steve Bold, yeah,
Steve Bold. I mean, sorry, but you know, the great back four for Arsenal, absolutely, but that back four is, like I said, you could put a chair in goal. You don't even need to have an actual goalkeeper. Just an empty chair. Like, you'd not even get a shot on target, like with those four. And that's why I think Rossi is second. But if you look at Dida, if you look at, yes, Maldini and Nesta and Cafu and, you know, whatever, but it was great, but it wasn't like that back four. That back four is just surreal. And if you look at what Dida actually did in terms of saves and how important he was in clutch moments, I think it was a bigger achievement for Milan to win those Champions Leagues than for Sebastiano Rossi's Milan to win those European Cups, because they were the best team in the world then, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So probably go with Dida, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Right, Aristodimos K says, hi Niman Carlo, kind of a question. Have you watched any Olympiacos games lately? Because their ball-playing midfield, the 18-year-old Matsoukitis, who won the Tuttosport Web Golden Boy Award, is brilliant. Basically, it's like a Spalletti kind of regista, like Brozovic, Pizarro, and Lobotka, but more physical. I'd really love him next to Kefren Turam and another physical midfielder. Have you ever happened to watch him? Please do a follow-up on my question. If you do, he would definitely be a great player if he keeps his brains in his head, as we say in Greece. And if you what comparisons can you draw to Lobotka, Brozovic, Jorginho, etc.? I have watched a bit of Olympiacos because of Taremi, of course, and I've been impressed by this kid. I think it's way, like, again, with 18-year-olds, it's far too soon to say anything. I think he's had a fantastic breakthrough, but let's wait before we say too much, is kind of what I don't. And also, you know how I don't like to compare players. I hate this, the new this, the new that. It's my biggest pet peeve in football. I don't like it at all. But I think he's been good. There's no doubt about that. But let's wait before we say he's the new this, that, or the other. Is what I want to say. What do you?
Yeah, I can't say I've seen any of him at all. But I mean, Juventus need a regista. So yeah, let's scout him and see what he's about.
Matthew Provenzano says, "Hi guys, it's not a question, but I wanted to share this with everyone. I just watched the good season about Sampdoria. It was incredible. I found this documentary also on Amazon about Genoa and the club's relationship with the fans. I just thought I'd share it with you guys and the other patrons. And if you're interested, watch it." So yeah, thanks. That's a nice one.
I tried watching the Genoa one, and I found it difficult to get into it. But maybe I didn't persevere with it as much. The Sampdoria one, though, is masterpiece. Absolutely brilliant. I recommend it to everyone. It's outstanding. It tells the story of the 1990-91 Scudetto winning season and the 1991-92 season where they finished runners-up in the European Cup final against Barcelona at Wembley with Mancini and Vialli up front. And Barcelona scored the Ronald Koeman free kick from a free kick that was never a free kick in a million years. It was a scandalous free kick given to Barcelona, which Koeman scored. Always
it was a good goal, though.
Yeah, it was a great free kick, but it was not a free kick. It was nothing. But it was great. And how very tear-jerking as well, because it was made at the time when Vialli was in his last months. And you could see that on the video, that he was, very gaunt and losing weight, and he wasn't, didn't have long left, and how it all connected and came full circle because Italy won the Euros at Wembley 19 years after they lost, and Mancini and Vialli working together, kind of, and the Italy coaching team and staff was made up of so many Sampdoria players that were in that Sampdoria team that got to the final and won the Scudetto and got to the final at Wembley in 1992. So it was like a revenge, not just for Vialli and Mancini. It was like a revenge for all the other Sampdoria players that were in that team, like Lombardo, like there was there was about 5 or 6 of them at least.
Wasn't Vierkovud involved as well?
Vierkovud was in. I'm not sure if Vierkovud was part of the Italy squad. I don't think he was part of the Italy squad, but he was obviously in that Sampdoria team in '92.
No, I thought it was. Wasn't he part of the backroom stuff? I think.
I don't think he was, but some of the others was. I think Fausto Salsano was there. Some other names as well.
Alberigo Ivani, definitely. They
Ivani, yes, Ivani,
yeah. Right. Magnus Kaufman says, "Can you guys talk about Ebenezer Akinsanmiro at Pisa? What kind of a midfielder is he? He seems like an all-action midfielder to me." Have you watched him anything?
He's the Inter guy, right?
Yeah, Ebenezer. I love his name, Ebenezer.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
So cool. Yeah,
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ebenezer. It's awesome that his name is Ebenezer.
I think he was named after that. Do you think he was named after Ebenezer Scrooge? Maybe his dad hated Christmas and thought, right, I'm gonna name him after.
I just love that name, Ebenezer. I think it's such a cool name. What do you make?
I've seen a bit. Yeah, he does. That does seem like the kind of player he is. He is kind of all action, kind of puts himself about, good energy, and athletic, and that's from what I've seen of him. I would like to see more of Pisa before I can say for certain. But yeah, I'm sure you would have seen more of him in the Inter youth.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's got energy. I like players like him who high energy player, but he's also intelligent. I think that I like his vision. He seems rather complete. But it's still like, again, it's you need to. I want to wait and see more what we can see. But yeah, I think all action midfielder is a very good description of him. Actually, he's been very good for Pisa. I mean, you can say he's been their best player. I think he's been the standout player at Pisa, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So he's having a really good season so far. So yeah. Next question, Vito Campanelli says, "Hi guys, asking for Inter, but really for at least the larger Serie A teams. When looking to upgrade a position, would a team have higher likelihood of success in finding someone within Serie A rather than getting someone from another league and run the risk of them failing just because Serie A is so unique? Should it be first primarily to find someone within Serie A before going outside? And also, with Fiorentina possibly being relegated, if Inter, Juve, and Milan can pluck one player each from Fiorentina, who would be the best fit for each of the three teams?
Serie A proven.
Serie A proven. Is he Serie A proven? Yeah.
I think it depends, really, doesn't it? It depends if they. I mean, I think they have to be good enough to start with. Depends on the team as well. Like, you know, if it's a bigger team, then they have to be good enough. But I think if you're a relegation surviving team, yes, there are certain players that when they know the league, they know what it's like to fight against relegation. Then I think that it can be important, can't it? You're battle hardened, you know how to survive. You're a survivalist. Whereas I think it really depends on the team, the objectives of the team. Absolutely. Agreed.
As for one player each, if Fiorentina get relegated, for Inter, Juve, and Milan, I'll give you my three. For Inter, Dodò. For Milan and Juve, Moise Kean. I think both of them need Moise Kean.
I would have to agree with that. I can't pick out anyone else really. I think that for Milan, agreed 100%. For Inter, agreed 100%. And for Juventus, either Moise Kean or Dodò, because the position, the other position that Juventus need is a right wing back. Juventus also need a central midfielder, but I don't see any of the Fiorentina central midfielders being of the ability required.
Well, speaking on someone who's related to both Juve and Fiorentina, Dusan Vlahovic, we have a question from Yihuan Z, who says, "Hi, Carlo and Nima. I got a question about Dusan Vlahovic. What are the chances of him signing another contract with Juve, even though he's in a position to sign with any team now? Do you think that chance went up or down after he suffered his recent injury? And what do you think is a fair salary for him? Thanks as always."
I think the chances go down for a new contract at Juventus because Juventus are not going to sit down and negotiate and talk to him about a new contract now that he's got the injury. They're going to wait until he's back from injury. Now, he won't be back from injury till probably like March time, maybe even April. It depends kind of how. I think they're looking at like 4 months, something like that. So if he's not back till March, April, by the time that arrives, he will have been permitted already since January to negotiate a pre-contract with another club. Now, if Milan, who it looks increasingly likely that Milan are going to move for him, then Milan could have just, the fact that he's got an injury won't affect Milan at all, other than maybe the salary and how much they're going to pay for the salary. So I think that it probably would have been more likely that at least they could have given him an offer. But now they won't. They're not going to offer him anything until he's back and they see how he's doing. So I think it's less likely.
I agree. I've got nothing more to add. As for the fair salary, I don't go into these discussions because I think they're all overpaid. Sorry, but I do. I think they're all overpaid.
Well, it's definitely 12 million. I can't see any Italian club even getting close to that. Like, what could I see Milan paying for him? I mean, who's their highest paid player and how much are they paid? Then he's not going to get paid more than the highest paid player. I think Leao what's Leao on? Is he on about 7 or 8? Something like that, I think, including bonuses. And then what happens with Magnon as well. So he's going to have to take a big pay cut, even if he goes to another.
It doesn't matter where he goes; he's going to have to take a pay cut unless he goes to Saudi.
Yeah, even if he goes to the Premier League, he'll have to take a pay cut.
Yeah. Next question. Hisham N says, "Hi guys, hope you're both well. I got 2 questions. What's your view on Fabio Grosso as a manager? Personally, I think he has the potential to become a top coach in the near future. Would you take him to the national coach instead of Rino? And 2, in my opinion, the number one issue at Juve over the past few years has been the lack of Italian players in the squad. The club's DNA feels diluted, and I believe this is also one of the main reasons the Italian national team has struggled so badly. Juventus should seriously consider returning to an Italian-focused model, even if it means overpaying at times. Celebrating summers with no business done with other Italian clubs is, in my view, harmful to the league overall. Money circulation suffers, and the best Italian talents end up leaving.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this question before, and it's just the fact that, yes, that's all true. Like, generally, Juventus have done better when they've had, I think it's the case for all Italian teams that maybe not Inter, they won the treble without Italians, but generally, yes, I think that an Italian team, it's probably will benefit them more than it won't to have a backbone of Italian players, especially in terms of being able to put together a team that can stay together over a longer period. You've got more chance of keeping them if they're Italian. So yes, but you have to have the players need, and also the knock-on effect that has on the international team. Of course, it's good because many of most of the successful Italy teams have had a backbone of Italian players for Juventus, but the players have to be available, and they're not. You can't just invent them, unfortunately. And unfortunately, right now, the only kind of top Italians playing in Italy generally play for Inter. So, like I've said on previous shows, they should have gone for Calafiori. He could have been there. They should have gone for maybe a Dorji. He could have been there now. They should have gone
Donnarumma, Tonali. These are the players they should be going after, in my opinion.
Yeah, but now a lot of those are probably the ship has sailed now.
Don't understand what Donnarumma's doing at Manchester City, to be honest. I think it's such a waste. Such a waste.
Yeah, but where's he going to go?
Well, he's not going to play. He's not going to win the Premier League. He's not going to win the Champions League.
I think he could. They're only 2 points behind Arsenal.
If Arsenal do not win the Premier League this season, Mikel Arteta, they should not. He shouldn't be sacked. He should be tortured. Like this is 2 years in a row now. At least 2 titles that he's thrown away. Premier League.
I think that they should do it this year. But yeah, no. I think that I understand Donnarumma going there because they can pay him the money that he wants. And
the money. But I'm talking about like in terms of like,
Well, City are still the second best team in England, and they might still win the league. They're only 2 points behind, and they're still going to be up there in the Champions League. Yeah, I mean, listen, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They've still got that certain cyborg in attack that scores a lot of goals.
He's insane. Absolute monster. What do you think of Grosso? No, I agree with most of that. As for Grosso, I think he's a good coach. I like what I've seen, what he's done in the Serie B. I like the transition. I like the movement, as I said I think it was last Monday pod about the against Milan. The movement and the scare me is just. I think he's got some interesting things there. But let's calm down. Again, sending him to the national team, like, no, he's not ready. Like, let him develop in peace. I would rather give the keys to the national team to someone like Italiano or De Zerbi, who are further down in their careers, than give it to Grosso. Let him establish himself in the Serie A first.
Yeah, agreed.
Jack Hacken says, hi, Nima and the old dinosaur.
Jack, you need to stop this, man. Go for me every single week. That's it. But Boy Kamer every single week from now on.
Boy Kamer. Can you make an ultimate 11 of the best Serie A players in the 2010s? Because you both probably would want to stack the team with Baggio, Pirlo, Buffon, Maradona. I have some rules. 3 players max from any given country in the 11. The above-mentioned players aren't allowed. Well, Maradona didn't play in the 2010s, so that's easily sorted. Players selected are required to have their best years and seasons between 2010 and 2020. Before, after does not count. Allegri is the coach, and you can't argue otherwise, Mr. Burns.
Fuck's sake.
The formation I leave up to you, and honourable mentions may go on the bench. So best Serie A.
If Allegri's the coach, and it's going to be a 10-0-0 formation. So, right.
Best. Okay. It has to be 2010 to 2020. It can't be Pirlo, Buffon, Baggio. Well, Baggio, yeah, okay. No Baggio, no Pirlo, no Buffon, no Maradona, and a maximum of 3 players from each country.
From each country. Okay. Well, the goalkeeper's easy then. If we're going for one
Julius
country.
Caesar.
Well, I was going to say Handanovic because then he's Slovenian. Well, Julius Caesar, when were you going to pick him? Julius Caesar played 1 season in the 2010s. That's it.
Yeah.
2010, 11. 2010, 11 when it went into we're sliding. So now it's got to be. If we're not,
but he still won the treble in 2010.
Okay, we'll pick for 6 months. I mean,
yeah, but the saves. No.
You can't pick a goalkeeper based on 6 months, Nima.
The height he reached, only Buffon reached. Handanovic is not.
But for 6 months. Yeah, but not even 6 months. For 5 months, January, February, March.
In those 6 months, Julius Caesar did more at the highest level than most of these goalkeepers do in a lifetime.
I mean, if we're ignoring longevity, we'll go Julius Caesar. If you want to go for 5 months, then
Julius Caesar was the best goalkeeper. Like he was in a time when Buffon was.
Okay, all right, the best. Okay, if we're going purely for best Serie A players and we're not counting on what they did over a period of time, then okay, we'll go with Julio Cesar. But there might be other Brazilians. That's why. Do you know what I mean?
But there's maximum 3. So yeah.
Okay, all right then. So Julio Cesar in goal. Then in defence, I mean, we have to have Chiellini. Surely, Chiellini has to be in it as centre back, alongside Koulibaly.
Who?
Koulibaly. I think has to be Koulibaly, doesn't it?
Koulibaly's a good shout, but also, I mean, you have Walter Samuel, you have Lucio. I mean, I know you're just going to say 6 months, but like that pairing was. I think Chiellini Samuel is one of the most insane. Like those two, that's an actual wall. Like Walter Samuel.
Okay,
and Chiellini.
Should we have a 3-man backline then? Koulibaly, Chiellini, and Samuel.
Yeah, go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then wing backs.
Ooh, you have Dani Alves, you have Cafu, you have Alexandro.
Cafu.
You have... No, sorry, Maicon. Sorry, Maicon. No. You have Maicon. You have Alexandro. You have João Cancelo. You have
Di Lorenzo.
Yeah. When he was at his best, absolutely.
Evra,
Patrice Evra, for sure. Who else?
Because it was just Juventus throughout the whole decade. That's the problem. It's just going to be mainly Juventus players, isn't it?
Yeah, and also, well, I mean, you can shoehorn in Maicon.
It's just
Maicon.
if we're going to pick it based on not based on longevity, it's just going to be Juventus. It's going to be Juventus and Inter 2010 players.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Who else is going to get in?
No, I think Napoli have a good shout. There's quite a few Napoli players, but yeah, it's basically Inter Milan, Inter, Juve, Napoli, maybe a Roma player like a Pjanic, but he had his peak at.
I mean, I think up front you've got probably Tevez, you got Higuain,
you got Cavani, you got Lavezzi, and people forget how good Cavani was. Honestly, I think he's so underrated. Cavani was a he's probably my favorite.
You also got Thiago Silva in defense as well.
Yeah, Thiago Silva, absolutely, he has to be in there.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got 4 centre backs now.
Yeah. Tevez, Higuain, Cavani, and then in midfield, you can't pick Pirlo.
Vidal has to be in it. I'm sorry.
Arturo Vidal,
Vidal's the best centre midfielder of the decade in terms of
Marquisio was brilliant. People again underrated player.
I mean, there's Pogba as well.
Pjanic. Yeah.
We got Zlatan.
Hamšík, Zlatan. Yes,
Hamšík, yeah,
Zlatan has to be there as well. Hamšík, Zlatan. I mean, it's Zlatan definitely. Lavezzi, I thought was outstanding.
Yeah, Lavezzi. I mean, how do you pick it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't pick an 11 out of that. You know, there's your squad. Pick your own. Dani Alves, Alexandro, Maicon, João Cancelo.
Don't have many left backs though, do we?
No. Patrice Evra.
Yeah, struggling for left backs. Alexandro.
Douglas Costa. When was he there?
He was at Juventus. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, it's yeah, and we're not allowed to pick Buffon. We're not allowed to pick Pirlo. We're not allowed to pick. Yeah, and also, I'm sorry, but if we're talking about Barzagli, Bonucci, you know,
yeah,
that's your
You got Di Natale as well. He was smashing.
De Rossi.
Yeah, De Rossi. Yeah.
Di Natale, De Rossi, Quagliarella.
Yeah, Nainggolan.
Raja Nainggolan was the best midfielder in the world for a while.
Jorginho as well. At Napoli, that centre midfield Napoli had with Alan, Jorginho, and Hamšík. Yeah.
And don't forget, if we're talking about Napoli players, Dries Mertens. I mean, surreal. Callejon. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. We'll pick the squad. We picked the squad for you there. We'll let the listeners and the viewers pick their 11 from that.
Yeah. That's the squad right there. There's so much. Right. Missak Ulikian says, question of the week is the sophisticated Luciano said that Yildiz still doesn't understand how strong he is, but his opponents know it already. What is the boy's ceiling in your opinion? As for me, him being this great already, I think we're already near his ceiling. He just needs to know how to score dirty, ugly goals and be in the correct positions up front. The rest, he's already brilliant.
I don't think he's near his ceiling. I think his ceiling's much higher. The one thing I want him to be is more of a killer. Like when he cuts in, if you take during the Roma game, for example, there was a couple of times where he cut in from the left-hand side. One he shot on his left foot and it went across the box and it just went wide. But the one in particular that I want to see an improvement on is when he cut in. Why is there so many ants about? Right. No, I've seen about 3. I'm at my parents' house. I've seen about 3 now. What are they doing ants about? Like December. Sorry. Right.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Was that funny?
That is. I didn't. Yeah, that was unexpected.
Right. No, I said it earlier in front of my mum, and she was like, "No, it's just crumbs." I go, "It's an ant. It's crawling across the table. It's not a crumb." Like. But anyway, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying now. What were we talking about?
Talking about Kenan Yildiz.
Oh yeah, Yildiz. Yeah. So no, there was one where the one. Did you see that when he cut in from the left and he curled it and it hit the post? Right. Like I expect him to score that. I expect him to put that away. Like that is the difference. Like that is where, he has to be putting those away. Like I expect from a top player that when they cut in onto their left foot from there, you've got the whole gap there to put it in. I expect him to bury that. So he's fantastic. He was fantastic again against Roma. He's really kind of hit form again now. He went through that drought of 10 games where it was really disappointing. Now he started to turn it around, and Juventus have had a couple of good performances and good results in a row now, winning against Bologna and Roma, and now they've got a good run of fixtures. So that's promising.
And they're 4 points with a game in hand off the Scudetto race. Like I think I know you don't.
They played a game more.
Yeah, I said the others have a game in hand, but they're just 4 points off, and they have a really good run of games, and it wouldn't surprise me if they might be in the top 3 by the end of it.
If they can, yeah, they've got a good run of fixtures now. If they can, but the last 2 games have been promising, and Yildiz has been fantastic. But if we're talking about his ceiling, as the question says, he's nowhere near his ceiling, and I want him to be more clinical with these kind of chances. I expect him to put those away, those chances, because he needs to get his goal numbers up. I expect more goals. Like top players score. Someone like Yildiz, if he wants to be a kind of a superstar, I'm expecting him to score 20 goals a season minimum in Serie A.
No, I don't view him as that kind of a striker. I view him more as a forward, as a number 10, a modern trequartista, and that's why I love him. He has so much football in him.
Well, I mean, okay, maybe not necessarily 20 in Serie A, but I'm expecting 20 goals a season, all competitions.
I'm expecting 25, 30 goal contributions between Champions League and Serie A for me to be happy. Because I think the football he has in him, he's wonderful to watch. I mean, the IQ, the way he views things before they happen. I love players like that. He thinks 3-4 steps ahead every time. He's a wonderful player. I genuinely love him. Him and Arda Güler is like, Lamine Yamal. These kids are just, you got to love it. Like there's so much talent out there.
Yeah, 100%.
And he but I gotta say the one who I think is the most mature, like not maybe in terms of his ceiling, because Lamine Yamal is probably the best player in the world, but I'm talking about maturity in the sense that he seems to me like the most mature out of all of them. The way he takes care of himself, the way
I mean Yamal's definitely not mature, and he doesn't come from a good family either.
No,
I don't mean that. Let me reword that, because that didn't sound like, when I say a good family, I have no idea. I'm sure he's very much loved, and his parents are always there for him. I mean like his the way that his mum and dad go about. I mean, his mum is like selling herself. Selling. Okay, I'm digging a deeper hole here. His mum is selling dinner.
I'm just going to be quiet and enjoy the show.
His mum is like selling dinner dates with her, basically. Like,
yeah, but like the meet and greet. Yeah, I know.
Meet and greet with me. I'm Lamine Yamal's mum. Come and pay £1,000 to get 1 minute with me. Like meet and greet. Yeah. Like it's embarrassing. Like that's the only one.
And his 18th birthday with the dwarves that they hired.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I don't think he comes from, in that aspect. I think he comes from a background where he has to be a bit careful, because he's a God-given talent, and I don't want him going the way of because he hasn't the off the field stuff and not mixing up with the wrong people and
no 100%. Everybody who knows, like if you follow Spanish football, you know what we're talking about. It's not a calm situation, let's put it that way. But no, I like
but then others will say, look, this is the same thing people used to say about Balotelli. I remember arguing with one guy who I work with, saying that Danny Welbeck would have a greater career than Mario Balotelli, because Mario Balotelli doesn't have his head screwed on, he doesn't have that support network, and he's gonna, his career is gonna blow up. And in one sense, that person was right, because Balotelli didn't end up fulfilling himself in the way
fulfilling his potential. Yeah.
But I said at the time, I remember saying, I said, look, even if Mario Balotelli doesn't score a single goal now for the rest of his career, doesn't do anything else, right? Balotelli has achieved by this stage, and we discussed this, and this was in 2012. We had this debate. We did a video on it. I said, even if Balotelli doesn't do anything between now and the rest of his career, he will still have done more than anything that Danny Welbeck will do by the end of his career.
No doubt about it.
And that was true, because by 2012, at the age of 21 or 22, Balotelli had already won the Champions League, the Serie A multiple times, the Premier League. He scored X amount of goals. He'd been one of the best players at the Euros. Scored that legendary goal at the Euro against Germany in the semi-final. Yeah. So, and that's the same with Yamal now. Even if Yamal, completely falls off the doesn't play another game now because of all the stuff that is going on, what he's achieved already by the age of 18, most people don't do in an entire career. So, you can look at it both ways.
Why always me? Like, it's just, oh, what a character Mario is. Gotta love him. Absolutely love him. I agree with you. Kenan Yildiz, but I gotta say, no, I love Yildiz. I love
Yildiz has the temperament. He has his head screwed on.
Temperament. He has also the way that he views football. I mean, him and Nico Paz, I really like the way they view football. And it's going to be really interesting to see. Finally, the number 10 role is coming back in a modern form, which I actually predicted on the spot a couple of years ago. I said we'll see the return of the number 10, but in a much more dynamic role. You won't see people jogging around like Juan Román Riquelme or Dybala, but you'll see a much more dynamic number 10 role. And I think that's coming back now, and I'm really, really happy about it because I love the number 10 role. It's my favorite role. That and the number 6, the regista. Those are the ones that I love. My favorite roles on the pitch. Right, last question. Jordan Maddox says, 2 questions. First one, could Italian football not make a second cup competition similar to the FA Cup to garner more interest? Every level of Italian football entered with the matches free to air worldwide, with growing frustration with paying for multiple streaming services. A free to air package with potential cup shocks could bring in viewers of all ages and various sponsorships. I appreciate the calendar would need to be altered and Conte would cry, but I feel there's a gap in the market for another free to air competition. Your thoughts? My second question, do you have any Christmas Serie A stories? Have a great Christmas and New Year, guys. Thanks for filling my commuting time this year. Keep up the great work next year. Well, thank you very much, Jordan. Another competition, more games. No thanks, is my first immediate reaction to that, because the players are already overworked and overplayed, and they look burnt out, many of them. But I would like to reform the Coppa Italia to doing it to the FA Cup model. I would like to have that. And I would probably, just to make it more popular. And I like the fact that they have a one-off final in Rome. I want to keep that. I think the semi-final home and away is stupid. Make it into a one-off. I think they should make it into a one-off the way the FA Cup is done. Basically, you play the semi-final over 2 days at the Olimpico, and you play the final there as well.
Yeah, agreed. I think we've said this before. It would be great to get some of the amateur teams involved. It would make it exciting. You'd get some good stories. And stories is what Serie A does best, and what we still have is that Serie A still has the best stories. Many of which we've been telling on, and actually the proof is kind of in our socials. Like, we've started telling some kind of great stories from the past, like the one I told earlier this week about Maradona and the charity game, which is an incredible story about how he helped save pay for a kid's life-saving operation because of he played in a charity game in a village, and like, there's so many great stories in Serie A. Like, that would be, you'd get great stories from there. Imagine, Juventus playing against a team from Serie D, an amateur team from Serie D in a village. It'd be amazing, some of the stories that you would get. And then you get some giant killing shocks, and it'd be magical. So I think that's something they should do, because because at the moment, like, nobody cares about the Coppa Italia. It's just everybody. It's just a chore, isn't it? And it's just, no, even the lower league teams, no one cares about it. They all play their reserves. You know what I mean? So I think that would be a good thing to do.
I think you're absolutely right. I've said this for many years. I think this, so I don't have any.
It'd be good financially as well. Like, it would help. That's one good thing about the FA Cup, is that it helps to the gates and the receipts and the TV money that some of the lower league teams get from the FA Cup. Like, if a non-league team gets a Premier League team in the FA Cup, like that will pay for them for like a whole season of wages and do you know what I mean? That will fund them for the whole year. So it puts money into the pyramid, which is great as well.
100%. I like it. It's smart. 100%. Yeah, no, 100%. Agree. Christmas Serie A stories. Do you have any? I can't think of any.
I remember one Christmas Cassano put on loads of weight over Christmas, and Capello went mad when he came back after Christmas, because he'd put on like 10 kilos, had just been eating non-stop, and Cassano replied saying it was worth it because, you know, I got to eat like lots of panettone and yeah, I don't know, that's the only one that's coming to mind. Cassano, Balotelli, I remember him dressing up as Santa one year. Get some of the clubs that used to do kind of like Christmas videos and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of. I mean, they don't usually play. I mean, they don't usually play at Christmas. They usually have a break. But they've kind of changed that now, haven't they? Like this year, there is going to be games over the Christmas period, and not on Christmas. Not like in England, where, you know, it's like a tradition to play on Boxing Day. Or it usually is in England. That's never been the case. So you don't kind of get many great kind of Christmas stories because, you know, everybody's kind of like with their families over Christmas. So you don't get too many of them. But I have a good Bedford story to tell you that happened just this morning, actually, on Sunday. We had
That's the perfect way to end the pod. Right, let's go. Right, okay. The last Bedford story of the year. Right, go on.
No, we had a massive fight with the traffic warden outside the cake shop, because we went in this morning on Sunday and we parked our cars. I mean, you'd think we'd be allowed to park our car. Now, I'll tell you one thing. There's one thing that triggers me more than anything, right? If you want to know my weakness and how to wind me up, it is not being able to park my car or any of like our delivery car or outside our own business. Like, you've been to the cake shop, right?
Why? It's not like it's the most, like, that road is what? Why?
Yeah,
why?
It drives me
What's
mad.
the reason? There's no reason. It's not like it's highly tracked. Like,
because the traffic wardens are wankers. That's why. And
the only reason people go down that side is because of your business. Like that, there's no. It's not like it's.
Well, bear in mind this is a Sunday morning. You know, I went in this morning at like 8:30 in the morning, and I was only there for a few hours. We were just doing some preparation for that Christmas, because it's busy. You know, obviously it's going to be busy. A lot of cakes over Christmas period. So we went in. It was just me, my dad, my auntie, and another lady. And we had my car and another car for delivery outside the bakery. This traffic warden come around. I think he's like Scandinavian or something, and he was about to give us parking tickets. Luckily, we had a guy that, you know, from around the area that was just outside the bakery, and he come and warned us. He says, "Oh, there's a traffic warden. He's about to put cars in." So anyway, my dad went out there, absolutely destroyed him, like absolutely goes, you know, it's Christmas. Where's your Christmas spirit? You know, this is my business. This is my delivery car. We're using the car to deliver. We're in and out. Wanker traffic warden was like, "Oh, look, there's a multi-story car park. Why can't you park your car there?" And like, we started saying to him, "Look, number one, it's a delivery car, and we're in and out.
We're loading the truck up."
Yeah, exactly. We're loading, unloading all day, right? We can't park it in a multi-story car park and then every single time we want to use it, go into the multi-story car park and bring it out. That's number one.
There's no logic.
Number two, it's bloody expensive to park it in a multi-story car park. Number three, it's our actual bloody business. Are we actually allowed to park our cars outside our own business? And we also explained to him how, you know, local businesses are struggling a lot at the moment. Like everyone's going bust at the moment all around the world, especially in England, because it's too costly right now. You know, the costs of electricity, of in our industry, the supplies of the goods, the economy is completely broken, destroyed. You know, it's really, really difficult. You know, you would appreciate a little bit of support from the authorities, that if you've got your own bloody business.
Like, for me, it's not like you're on the main, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a road that is heavily.
It's just a little side road. Yeah.
Yes. So I don't understand.
This is a Sunday morning. This isn't. We're
not talking about.
Out. Yeah, we're not talking about a busy Saturday afternoon where people going into town. Not that anybody goes into the town centre anymore, anyway. But you know, it's. Do you know what I mean? It's insane. So that you know what these traffic wardens are like. You know, a lot of them are bullied school kids. You know, so they're just like, oh no, these are the rules. Double yellow lines. These are the rules. You can't park here. You know, why can't you park in car park like everybody else? And anyway, my dad absolutely destroyed him. Then this guy Keith, who was there, he destroyed him as well. And then I come out and I absolutely let rip at him as well. And he just kept saying, "Oh, but these are the rules. If you don't like the rules, change the rules." You know, I'm just doing my job. So I went there with the old, well, that's what the Nazis said during the Second World War. I always use that one. I always use that one. I say, well, the Nazis, that's the excuse they use.
Yeah, and it's also not even it's not even a defense anymore, because like that, after the Nuremberg trials, you can't just say I'm following orders. Like, I'm sorry, it's not even a defense anymore. But yeah, I think we jump. I think the acceleration steps, like you went from 0 to 100.
No, I went straight there. Because at the end of the day,
the Nazis.
I went straight there.
Nazis.
No, that's what I did. Then I called them a Nazi. Then I called Nazis. That's what I called.
Sunday morning in bed for the traffic warden equated with the Nazis.
Yeah, that's what I called them. I always go there. I use that one every time. Whenever anybody says I'm just doing my job, I always go there with the Nazi. You go with the Nazi comparison.
Oh, well, it's not even a defense anymore. Like, that's the brilliant part. But it depends. Like, it depends on what it is. But yeah, I love it.
And then I said to him, all the, you know, because we don't have problems with the other traffic wardens. You know, the other traffic wardens kind of use their common sense. You know, and I said to him, I go, all your colleagues that you work with, and this is true, but all your colleagues that you work with hate you. They all think you're a wanker. All of you. I said that to him as well. So he's going to go to work now. All of his colleagues.
You really went off on one.
No, I don't know, because there's this one thing that I can't accept. You know, it's our own workplace, it's our own business, it's a small business. We're just doing the job. We just got our cars out there to do deliveries. You know, I've done like 2 or 3 deliveries in the morning. You know, we're in and out, and you know, we're not there taking the piss. We're not there going into town. We're just trying to run a business, you know, and we can't even park outside our own fucking business that we've run for 45 years, where we do more charity than anyone in the whole of the town. And you know, we get people like this idiot, you know, just on our backs, you know, and they just give it the whole, oh, I'm just doing my job, you know, fuck off. Yeah. So there's a Bedford story for you. A nice positive one.
Yeah, nice positive one. The Nazis were doing their jobs as well. I love it. Oh my God, on a Sunday morning. It's brilliant.
We have these run-ins with a traffic warden.
Yeah, I don't get, like, to me, the thing that I find so weird is I've been there. It's not a heavily trafficked road. Do you know what I mean? And if it's a Sunday morning where people are just emptying a truck, like, or a car in and out to deliver, I think that's weird. I think that's a really, really weird thing.
Well, apparently, I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard from a few, apparently they get bonuses for putting tickets on cars now. So they've got an incentive, like they actually, which is wrong. Which shouldn't be
like that. It shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that at all. It's weird. You shouldn't incentivize that at all. You're there to prevent from people breaking like rules and regulations. You're not there to over police. I don't like over policing generally. It doesn't. It's bad.
No, it's money. There's a lot of this happens a lot in England. I'm sure it happens in other countries, probably in Sweden as well, where it becomes like a money making scheme. So it's not just the traffic ones, but like speed tickets, for example. Now, obviously, speed cameras, are obviously important for, you know, also for safety, you know, for saving lives. I'm not doubting that, but you know, a lot of councils use it as just purely as a money making scheme, and they put them everywhere, you know, and it's just to make money basically, and they spend their money on them rather than actually. There was a big scandal here in Bedford, going back probably 5-10 years now, where the council spent all their budget on speed cameras rather than spending it on like the hospital and like public services. And they spent about 2 million or something crazy, and like the people found out about it and went absolutely
well, of
mad.
Course they did, and they have every right to go mad.
Yeah.
Where are your priorities?
because it was basically because they could make money from that. They can't make money from from public services like hospitals and whatever. But yeah.
See, Britain's doing well.
You don't know the half of it, mate.
Yeah, no, I can't. It's this summer is the 20th anniversary. No, it isn't. It's it's the 20th anniversary of when I started uni in the UK, and it is not the same place. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I went to uni in 2006 in Wales, in the UK, and it is not the same place. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not remotely the same place. Right. That's all the questions we had this week. Please do keep sending in your questions via DM on Patreon. We'll be back next week. By the time this will go out on,
I think Christmas Day. I think
No, the Q&A will go out tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Monday.
Yes. Well, when you listen to this, check out the Frank Leboeuf interview that comes out tomorrow on Tuesday, on the 23rd. Then on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, we've got our Serie A mid-season review, and then we'll be back after Christmas because on the 29th for a.
What have you just sent me, Nima? What have you just sent me? What have you just sent me? So by the way, Nim has just sent me I don't even know how we watched this while we were doing the pod. He sent me a video of Donald Trump giving a speech where he's talking about Melania steaming her panties. This is AI, right?
No, it's real. It's unreal.
This guy, some of the stuff this guy is coming out with.
I'm telling you, like it's stand-up comedian. It's stand-up comedy. It is stand-up comedy. If you remove the politics from it, it's stand-up comedy. It is absolute stand-up comedy.
Like I was certain that some of that stuff he was saying about the Somalians was AI.
No.
I could not. In fact, I still don't believe it. I still believe it's AI.
No. He does say it, and the Somalians in Minnesota have ripped. The reason he's butthurt is because he's been ripped to shreds on social media by Somalians from Minnesota, who have said that, who've basically gone. Who've retorted to him about how Minnesota was promised to them 3,000 years ago, and it's pure. It's the funniest online trend I've seen in my life. That's all I'm gonna say. Go Minnesota, search for Somalia, Minnesota on Twitter, on TikTok. It's the funniest thing I've seen in my life.
I still can't believe he said that, but yeah.
No, it's just comedy. It's just we literally live in a meme. Like I don't take anything seriously anymore. It's difficult to take anything seriously anymore in the news. Like everything is just a parody now. It's literally reached that point. It's like the end of the Roman Empire when everyone went mad. Like it's just that's how it feels. Right. Please do send in your questions via DM on Patreon. We'll be back on Monday after Christmas for a review of the Serie A, and also Q&A as well that week, and some others. We'll see if we've got something else coming up. But yeah, lots of content coming out for you this week, and of course the week after. So please send in your questions via DM on Patreon. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other, and remember to steam your underwear. Good night. Take care. Bye.